Good morning. North Cascades Athletic Club's Facebook page. Roxanne Best coming at you live, thriving and vibing on Thursday morning. I hope y'all are ready for a nice, easy, flowy, twisty class today. I've managed to lose my spray to create the mood in our room. Oh, hey, I found it. So I'll spray us. Welcome, folks that are tuning in. Hi, Lisa. So good to see you. I wish I was seeing you in person in class. I miss your smile and your vibe. Your energy is amazing. I miss everybody. Hope everybody's doing fantastic right now in this very interesting time in history. All right. So our card for today, setting our intention. Hey, Faith. When I introduce joy to a situation, I change the vibrational frequency of what's happening around me. So that's just one of our things that we can focus on during our practice today is how can we change our vibrational frequencies to create peace and calm in different spaces that we're in. And that's what we do when we practice yoga. We learn how to tap into those internal frequencies. And just it's not like it is a frequency, but just figuring out how to be. And, whoa, that card wants to be read. But we're not going to read it. We'll read it at the end of class. Just knowing that our energy can affect the space that we're in. And being aware of what we're bringing into different spaces. Are we making it a better place to be, or are we making it more stressful? Are we adding to the dis-ease, the discomfort, or the frustration? So as I mentioned in my introduction video on my page, if you have a block or blankets or a strap, today is a good time to use them. We're going to do quite a bit of twisting and some seated forward folds. In previous classes, I've shown you some options for your straps when you're practicing. A belt, a strap from your robe. If you don't have a block, these little rubber balls are really awesome. And a yoga block. And if you don't have this, you can get a blanket and just, we don't want to do that. And we just take the blanket and fold it up to create a little elevation in our seat, or we can use it in between the thighs. All right. So let's go ahead and get started. Coming to the top of our mats in our standing mountain pose. Feet hips distance apart. Just starting to feel the feet and the foundation underneath. Are we as our mat, or are we practicing on carpet? Is the carpet cushiony carpet? Is it hard? Maybe we're practicing on tile or hardwood floors. Seeing if our feet can detect the surface below our feet. Begin to take deeper breaths in, letting the exhales be longer than the inhale. And then just find center in the feet. Let's take a big breath, roll the shoulders up to the ears, back and down. One more time, shoulders roll up and back and down. And just finding our standing mountain pose, palms facing forward, relax the thumbs, fingers energetically reaching towards the earth. And just feeling the bottoms of the feet strong and rooted down into the mat, into the floor, into the earth. And we're just going to bring awareness from the bottom of our feet all the way up to the crown of our head before we start our practice today. And you'll hear me cueing in various areas of the body throughout today's movements. So starting with the feet, just gently shifting the weight front to back, building that strong connection, that strong rooted feeling in the feet. Then from there, we're going to move into the calves and just noticing as we shift our weight forward and back, how the calves will activate and then deactivate. They relax and then they contract. So let's all find that center point in our feet and then just notice how the calves feel. They're equally relaxed and activated. Then focusing in on the knees, just do a little bounce in the knees. It sometimes feels really good. It always makes me laugh. So we always want to have this sense of activation in our knees, like this sense of ready to move. So we always want to have a micro bend in our knees. So as we're pressing into the mat, equally front and back part of our feet, we continue to keep that micro bend in our knees. A lot of times we'll lock the knees back, but we just want to make sure we're always in that small bend in the knees position. And then moving into the calves, you saw my blanket example, but you can also use a block. So we want to imagine that we're not only pressing down into the mat, but squeezing a block or a blanket between the thighs and then pulling the block up. I know, right? So as we're pressing our feet down and squeezing the block together, we can internal and externally rotate the thighs. And here we have the opportunity to tune in to the rotation in the hips. So pressing down, squeeze together, and lift up. And then we'll bring awareness into the hips. And we're just going to tilt the pelvic forward. So imagining that our pelvic girdle is like a vase or a bowl filled with water. When we tilt our pelvic bone forward, our pubic bone forward, we spill water out the back of the bowl. But when we tilt and press the pubic bone back, we're spilling water out the front of the bowl. So we want to have our bowl level most of the time in our practice, so we're not spilling out the back or the front. So a good way to feel that is maybe place the hands on the hips and just curl front, curl back, and you'll notice it in the lower back how it feels as well. So just finding that neutral position where our bowl is full and we're not spilling out the front or the back. So again, we're pressing feet into the mat, pulling up through the midline, and then just bringing awareness into the navel. So we're gently pulling the belly button in towards the spine and up. So we're creating this base foundation and this whole area, our spare tire area, if you will, just to create that stability in the lower back, creating that stability in our hips. So we're just gently contracting, pulling everything in, but still able to take a nice full breath. And now bringing awareness into the rib cage. So with our rib cage, a lot of times as soon as we get that activation in the stomach and the core, we start to lift the rib cage out and the rib cage just blows open. And in some cases that feels good, but we want to maintain a center, a connection with the spine. We want to feel stable inward while able to still be expansive outward. So if we feel our rib cage is blowing out, then just contract it, pull it back in, but it's still loose enough that we can take those full breaths in and out. Shoulders, let's roll the shoulders up and back. And what we'll feel is the shoulder blades on the spine squeezing together and then tracking down the spine. So we create this space between our ears and shoulders. Arms, although they're active, they're still fluid. So we have muscular engagement in the arms. They're not just dangling. They're not just hanging there. They're active energy going through the fingers into the mat. Head stacked over the spine. Create soft, relaxed expressions in the face. Smiling is the best expression. And then we're just going to begin to move, taking into account all those alignments that we just created, the energy pushing the feet into the mat, lifting up and in through the core. And then just inhale, sweeping the arms out and up, reaching, opening broad across the spine. Exhale, pressing the air back down by our sides. Feeling open. As we inhale, imagine a string is attached to the crown of our heads, making us grow super tall. Exhaling, we ground through the feet, keeping the length, imagining we're like a tree. And every time we inhale, we grow taller. And when a tree grows roots down, it doesn't shrink. You just grow deeper roots into the earth. As we exhale, grow deeper roots. Keep that length in the spine. Inhaling again. Now, imagine our roots are growing down and out. So as we exhale, we're grounding down, creating a stronger foundation as our roots expand out. Exhaling, arms come down. 2 more breaths here. Last one. This time, letting the palms connect overhead. Dropping the shoulders down and away from the ears. Finding that calm strength. So even though we're pressing the shoulders down, making sure we're not forcing in a way that creates more tension. So holding here, we're going to start our chair flow by exhaling. Hands come to heart center, hips press back as though we're sitting in a chair behind us, maintaining that nice long spine. Shoulders roll back, crown of the head reaching out towards the sky. Sit bones pressing to the back of our mats. I'm just holding here, tuning into the feet. Check, make sure the knees are lined up with our toes. Make sure we're not collapsing the knees together. And just breathe here. Maybe start to sink a little bit lower. And then we'll just create that flow. When we inhale, sweep arms out and up, reach to the sky, palms connect. Exhale, we sit back to our chair. Inhale, reach. Exhale, we sit. Inhale, reach. Exhale, we sit. Now tuning into the breath, letting the breath lead the movement. So we don't move until we start to inhale here. Once we start to inhale, then we move. We don't move until we begin to exhale. Exhaling, then we move. So you can see that feeling in the body when we let the breath lead the movements. Let's do 2 more chairs. We'll all meet in standing mountain pose. So once we get to our standing mountain pose, we're going to build onto this twist, this chair with some twists. So now we can step the feet together. So we're all going to step the feet together. Inhaling, arms reach up. Just experience the chair first without the twist. Exhale, sit to our chair. So now we're squeezing the knees, squeezing the thighs together. Little different energy happening in this chair. Breathe. Take a nice big breath. As we inhale, attach the thumbs to the heart center, shoulders roll back. Then as we exhale, we're just going to imagine a light is shining out from our chest, from our pinkies, and we are shining it from our chest off to the side. So for right now, just aim for the right corner of our mats. Something to think about. In the twist, sometimes we do this. This isn't twisting. You can see, I'll show you from the back. So twisting, what it looks like. Twisting, notice my head stays in line with my tail. Twisting and looking, this is more of a bend in the spine. So check in with yourself. Am I twisting or am I bending? A lot of times we'll do that bend just so that we feel like we're getting farther around. That's not the goal. The goal is to get a twist in our bodies. So back to that twist. Keep that thumb locked in. Shoulder is what's pulling in that twist. Ooh, breathe. Inhale, come back to center. Extend, extended mountain. Exhale, coming back to that chair. This time we're going to twist to the left. Exhale, twist to the left. Again, let that left shoulder, the back of the left shoulder is pulling us back. Woo. Inhale, come back to center. Now we're going to flow. Inhale, extend. Exhale to chair and twist to the right. Inhale, reach. Exhale, back to our chair, twist to the left. Inhale, extend. Finding your own pace here, just remembering exhale, we sit and twist. Inhale, we extend, expand. I'm just going from left side to the right side. Breathe. If you feel a laugh coming up, that's good. That's our body's way of releasing energy, unnecessary energy from the body. And just continuing to flow. Inhaling, expand. Exhale, sit and twist. Woo. Hopefully we're starting to feel warm. And just remembering our goal is to create calm strength in our bodies. So we're not twisting so deep that it feels like, I can't go any further. So we want to just find that fluidity in our bodies and matching it and coupling it with the breath. One more on the right side. And last one on the left. Extended mountain. Reach both arms up. We're going to fold here. Soft bend in the knees. Hips press back. Nice flat spine all the way down. Fingertips to the mat. Let the rib cage rest on the tops of the thighs. And then just let the head melt down. Forward fold. Ooh, let go. If you're having a hard time, if you're feeling a lot of tension building, bend the knees a little bit more. Fold a little bit. Let the rib cage rest a little bit more on the thighs. Flatten the spine. Inhale, halfway lift, monkey pose. So we just flatten the spine, lifting up and loading up those hamstrings with a lot of energy. And then inhale, reverse up, nice flat spine. Exhale, fold. Hold here 2 breaths. If your feet are still together and this is uncomfortable, we can take that hips distance stance again. So just stepping the feet apart. Breathe. Inhale, halfway lift, monkey pose. Shifting our weight into the heels. Shoulders back and down, away from the ears. Crown of the head lengthening out from the tailbone. This time we're going to exhale into chair pose. Hands can come to heart center or extend overhead. And then inhale, extended mountain. Now we're going to add one breath, one movement. Flow here. Exhale, fold. Inhale to monkey. Exhale to chair. Inhale, extend. Exhale, fold. Inhale to monkey. Exhale to chair. Arms can extend or come to heart center. Hands can come to heart center. Inhale, extended mountain. Exhale, fold. Just warming up the hips, warming up the hamstrings. Inhale, monkey. Exhale, chair. Inhale, extend. Exhale, fold. Inhale, monkey. Exhale, chair. Inhale to extend. One more, last one. Exhale, fold. Inhale to monkey. Exhale to chair. Inhale to extend. Exhale, standing mountain pose. Woo. We're going to take a wide step on the mat. Take a step, long edge of the mat. We're going to rotate the knees out. Then the toes follow. So pressing into the mat equally in our feet. Inhale, arms reach up. 5-pointed star. Energy through the fingers, soften the thumbs. Breathe. Exhale, we're going to lower moonflower. Elbows come behind the body, getting a really big opening in the chest as we lower. Knees track with the toes. Be soft, but strong. Inhale, flow. Reach to the sky. Straighten the legs, arms extend. Exhale, come back, moonflower. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lower. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lower. Inhale, reach. And lower. 2 more. Letting the breath lead the movement. Last one. Now we're going to come into our moonflower and hold. And then we're just going to extend. Keep the right elbow pressing in. And as we extend the legs, we're just going to reach the left arm up. Lateral extension, opening up on the left side of the body. Exhale, come back down. Inhale, left arm stays. Right arm extends as we straighten the legs. Reaching up. Exhale, come back down. Now we'll bring a flow with the breath. Switching side to side. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lower. Inhale, reach. Switching sides. Exhale, lower. Just keep flowing here with the breath. And lower. Just remembering, feeling in the body, feeling that openness along the side of the body is where the magic is. It isn't in how far I can bend. So we're lengthening up, creating a rainbow with the spine. One more on the left. And moonflower. Extend into 5-pointed star. A little bigger bend in the hips, a little bigger hinge in the hips. And lower, scooping down. Inhale, sweep the arms back up. Imagining we're tracing the outside edges of the sun and our sunflowers. Keeping the heart lifted. Strong, but soft shoulders. And just keep breathing. So another thing we can envision is maybe scooping up water, cool water, splashing it up overhead. And just breathe. 2 more. And last one. 5-pointed star. Toes point forward. Press the hips back, lengthen, wide leg forward fold. Let the head hang. And we're just going to shift side to side. Ooh, shine the heart to the left knee, shine the heart to the right knee. Let the head relax. Find center. And we're just going to take the right hand, grab the outside of the left ankle. Left hand comes to the left hip. And we're just going to open. Twist. Woo. Breathe. Another option is to keep that left hand down. And come back to center, forward fold. Sway side to side. Feel the fluidity in the spine. Feel that activation in the core. Ooh, and breathe. Find center. Left hand reaches outside edge of the right ankle. Options. Arm can come to the right hip. Twist. Or we can keep that right arm down. You decide. Or drape it around. Ooh, let go. Breathe. Come back to center. Sit low in a squat. Maybe turn the toes out a little bit more if that feels better on the knees. Elbows to the knees. Lengthening through the spine. Now turn the left knee out, the right knee out. Bring both hands to the tops of the knees. And we're just going to do a little more spinal rotation. So we're just dropping the left shoulder down, then the right shoulder. And just getting a nice stretch, a nice lengthening in the spine. And just letting go, continuing side to side, finding your own pace, maybe holding and taking a couple breaths. Feels good. Or maybe one breath. And just flowing from side to side. And then finding center. Press through the heels, reach to the sky, 5-pointed star. Stepping our feet back to the top of the mat, standing mountain pose. Inhale, both arms reach the sky. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, monkey pose. Exhale, hands all the way to the mat. Step the left foot back, high lunge. We're going to lower the left knee. Inhale, supported crescent lunge. Here we're feeling that openness in the front of the left thigh. Hands come to heart center. Here's where we can bring the block or the blanket back in, bring it to the inside edge of the foot. And then we're just going to lean forward, bring the hand to the block, and then we're just going to gently, so right hand is on the right knee's over the ankle. Gentle twist here. Another option is if this is in your practice and you're not really struggling to get that elbow hooked on the knee, and you can keep your thumbs at your heart center, or you can take a fist and create a little lever for yourself. Just be kind to your spine. Gently come back to center. Inhale, extend. Exhale, shifting our weight forward, moving the block. We're going to tuck that back toe under, lift the back knee, shifting our weight forward into that standing forward split. Some options here. We can keep that foot down and just really work on opening up the back side of the right leg, keeping the hips parallel to the mat. Or we can begin to lift that left leg up. Ooh, breathe. Gently bringing the block back in. We can go into Warrior 3 where we're balancing on one foot. We can tap the toe down, keep the legs lifted. Hips are still parallel to the mat. If we want to, open in to half moon. Stacking the hips. Ooh, breathe. Exhale, lower that back foot down. Inhale, Warrior 1. Stepping our back foot up. Inhale, reach. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, monkey. Exhale, hands firmly to the mat. Step the right foot back. Lower the knee. Inhale, coming up. Floating up. Supported crescent. Feeling that openness in the right hip flexor. It should feel good. Breathe. Coming into that twist. Finding which option works for you, either using the block, fist to create that lever. Again, listening to our bodies, because maybe this feels the best right now today. Depending on what activities we've been up to, we may be extra tight in the spine. And if we try to go in extra deep because we could last week, we could potentially hurt ourselves. So taking the time to listen to what we're experiencing right now in this moment and adjusting accordingly. Breathe. And untwist. Moving that block out of the way. Lift the back knee. Shifting that weight forward into that standing splits. Again, options. We can just keep that foot down and work on opening the back of the left leg. We can go into that standing splits. Maybe grab the ankle, head down. Energetically lifting that right foot up. Keeping the hips square. Woo! Breathe. And then we have that option to come into our Warrior 3. Oh, man. Again, listening to the body. It's frustrating when we have these expectations in our bodies and they're not doing what we want them to do. And we have to modify. Sometimes that isn't an easy reality to live in. But in order for us to actually grow and get better, that's a better reality. From here, we can shift into that moonflower, stacking the hip, foot flexes. Maybe we don't ever get the other hand off the mat. Woo. Eventually landing that back foot down and lifting ourselves. Warrior 1. Breathe. Let go. Let go of any judgment that you may have formulated in your mind in that flow, in that sequence. Just let it go. Step forward. Inhale, arms reach up, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, monkey pose. Inhale, chair pose. Extended mountain. And standing mountain. Just move. We're going to do a little shimmy forward fold. So you may have to take a little bit wider stance in your foot position. So maybe a little wider than hips distance. but not like mat distance. It doesn't need to be that wide. It's just for more stability because we're going to shimmy. We created a whole bunch of tension potentially in the body with that flow. Now we're going to shake it out. Inhale, reach. Exhale. Start to shake. Just shimmy. Woo, all the way down into our forward fold. Doesn't matter. There's no right or wrong way. Just shake it out and relax. And reverse up. Nice flat spine. This time we're going to do standing. We're just going to reach arms up, start to shake. Shake the legs. Woo. And just let it all go. And inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Let it go. And just hang in this forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, monkey. Inhale, reach, extended mountain. Lift the left knee. Another balancing pose. We're just going to cross the left ankle over the shin or the right ankle, or if you have the ability to get it above the knee, then that's okay too. And just opening that left knee out to the side. Bringing awareness into the right hip and just noticing, am I resting into that hip? If so, can I lengthen? Create a strong, straight growing tree trunk for my tree. Hands can stay overhead. We can let fingertips connect overhead. And like a bird taking off a branch of our tree, we're just going to gently bend, spread our wings, lift that knee, exhale, fold. Imagining we're now just gliding through the sky. Inhale, reach the arms up. And we're still that bird. And now we see another tree. So lifting the right leg this time, crossing the right ankle over the front of the left shin or the ankle or above the knee. And my bird sees the tree. And we're going to land in the tree on the branches. So just opening the arms out to the side. Make a branch, big, strong branch for our bird to land. Breathe. Then inhale. And we're going to reach the arms up. Exhale, glide and fold. Inhale, halfway lift, monkey pose. Exhale, hands all the way to the mat. Stepping back this time to plank. We're going to bring both knees down to the mat. Take the knees wide on the mat, or we can keep them close together. Big toes touch. Press back to child's pose. Hips to heels. Just let the head rest on the mat. We can stack our hands and let the head rest on the backs of our hands. Breathe. Gently bringing ourselves back to all fours. We're going to tuck our toes under, and we're just going to lift our hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Still keeping those nice strong shoulders. I'm just going to alternate press one heel, then the other into the mat. Maybe we start to add a little attitude and just get a little sway in the hips. Ooh, and breathe. And just spine center, find that nice strong down dog. Softening the knees, so bend the knees, and we're just going to lift and bounce. So bounce, bounce, bounce. I hate saying bounce, but that's kind of what we're doing. We're Just shaking it out. And then settle. We're going to lift the right leg. Step through high lunge. Actually, we're going to step to the outside of the right hand. Woo, doesn't quite make it. Grab that ankle, pull it up. Lower the left knee down. We can grab the block or not grab the block. Elbow's going to rest on the mat or on the block. Getting a deep stretch in the hips. Options, we can stay lifted. Just feeling that release in the left hip. Maybe a little bit in the right hip flexor. A little external rotation if we want it, lifting that inside edge of that right foot up. If we want to add a bind and a twist, we can lift that left heel towards the glute, reaching the arm back gently, calm strength. And twist open. This one may make you want to cry, not from pain, but from emotional release. Just recognizing that if it comes up, maybe laughter, maybe we're shaken. Gently untwist if you've done the bind. Shifting the hips back, walking the right foot back a little bit more to center for a hamstring stretch here. Lifting the toes. Breathe. If you have two blocks or if you have a block at all, you can always bring the block in if that helps. Just letting that hamstring release. Whole back side of the right leg. And shifting our weight back forward. We're going to bring that right foot back. Child's pose if you want it. Tuck the toes. Downward facing dog. Just noticing a difference in the right leg and the left if there is one. Inhale, left leg extends straight back. Step the left foot to the outside of the left hand. Lower that right knee. Getting that deep stretch. So letting the hips sink down. Maybe we need to walk the right knee back a little bit further. Just deepening that stretch. Breathe. Again, you have options. You can bring the block in. Maybe you don't need a block. Rest the elbow on the mat or the block. Or maybe both elbows. But if it's creating a sensation of like super tension in the hips, then just stay lifted. If our wrists are starting to get tired, we can always make fists. Again, we have that optional bind, so bring that right heel to the right hip, opening up. Breathe. And gently unbind, untwist. And shift the hips back. Walk that left foot more to the middle of the mat. Hamstring stretch on the left side. Whew. Breathe. Shoulders relax. Back of the neck relaxes. Face is soft. Breath is fluid. Gently shifting forward. Bring that left foot back behind us. Press back to that child's pose. Can rest the head on the block. We can stack fists, backs of the hands, hips to heels. Some of us may find ourselves in more of a hips up position. This is still really good on the body, really good in the hips. But if you're lucky enough to have healthy knees, that you can get your hips all the way down to the heels, and go for it. It'll feel really, really good. Releasing the lower back, releasing between the shoulder blades. Come back to all fours. Spinal balance. Just a little free flow movement in the spine to start. So we're just going to start by reaching the right arm straight out and bringing it back to the mat. Then the left arm straight out, then back to the mat. Finding that stability in our core center and our torso. So if we're lifting and we're kind of dumping to the side with our hips or with the body at all, we can't maintain this stability, this core stability, then maybe only lift and lift. However, if you're finding yourself really strong today, we can add opposite leg, opposite arm, extend straight back, and come back to center. Now, if we do this and we're like a fish swimming upstream, then maybe go back to just one arm at a time. And just flow side to side. Now, if we want to add sunbirds, we can then bring elbow to knee and reach and back down. Extend, elbow to knee, reach, and back down. And that's an option. Again, it is not mandatory. You decide what feels right in your body today. And move at your pace. Inhale, extend. Exhale, contract. Inhale, extend. Exhale, contract. Let's do one more. Right side. One more on the left side. Woo. And child's pose. And come back to all fours. Cat cow. Shoulders roll back. Tailbone tucks round the spine up. Cat pose. Woo. Maybe lean back a little bit. And forward. And then cow pose. Our heart reaches forward. Tailbone lifts up. So we're not wrenching the head up so that we get a big compression in the back of the neck. We're still creating that extension in the spine. Breathe. Then we'll just flow between cat and cow. You decide one breath, one movement, or do we want to hold cat for a couple breaths? Then hold cow for a couple breaths. Or do we just want to exhale to cat? Inhale to cow. Oh, breathe. One more cat. One more cow. And then press back to child's pose. Hips to heels, arms extend overhead. So it's an active child's pose this time, which is a little bit different than what we've been doing. We're going to make tents for our fingers. So fingertips are pressing into the mat. This is a little bit or a lot of a shoulder opener. So we're pressing. Shoulders are engaged. Shoulder blades reaching down the spine. If you're one of those people who has super mobile shoulders and you're good at maintaining that shoulder engagement, you could add a block on each side. and sink down. And if it's too much to have finger tense, you can just bring palms of the hands down, lower the head, extending arms out, but shoulders are still engaged. Inhale, let's come back to all fours. We're going to bring the legs around front. So just coming to a comfortable seat. Time flies when you're having fun. If you have a blanket, this is a great place to use it in this staff pose where our hips can be a little elevated, and it helps to tilt the pelvic forward. Knees can be bent as much as they need to be for our bodies, your body today. If you have a strap, this is another great time to use the strap. So sitting up nice and tall, shoulders roll back. We're going to inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, reaching forward, forward fold, seated forward fold. Hands either reach the feet, the shins, the thighs. You figure it out. You can also take your block or your blanket and put it under the knees. If you have your strap, you could take your strap to really help develop that mobility in the hips and keep that flat spine, using the strap on the bottoms of the feet. Make sure it's not in the arches, just under the toes, that pad just under the toes. And just let the spine round down, let the head hang. And gently walking our hands up the front of the legs, coming back up to that seated position. We're going to take the feet, the bottoms of the feet together, and let the knees open out to the side, butterfly pose. Again, if we have blocks, if this is really uncomfortable on our hips or our knees, we could put the blocks or even blankets or towels underneath for support. If it feels good, we can flap our butterfly wings. If not, don't do it. So I'll take a nice big breath in, arms reach up. We're going to do a little mini twist to the right. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, mini twist to the left. Arms come down, twisting, heart shines to the left knee. Then inhale, back to center. One more time to the right. Arms come down, heart shines to the right knee. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twist to the left, heart shines to the left knee. Shoulders are relaxed down, open across the chest. That left shoulder is pulling us into this twist. Inhale, we come back to center. Exhale, little fold if you want it. You don't have to. Only if it feels good. Inhale, come back up. Moving the blanket, if we have it, underneath our sit bones. Bring the knees together. We're going to come onto our backs. I'm just going to switch my position a little bit. So we're coming onto our backs. Knees stay bent. Tailbone pressing into the mat. Shoulders tucked under. Bridge pose. Squeeze the knees together. Palms can be facing down, really close to the body or a little bit out. And we're just going to engage those glute muscles and lift the hips up. Now, if this isn't super fun, you can always take that block And just place it underneath for a little support. And if you're using the block option, what I would encourage us to do is to not just rest into the block, but try to lift off of it a little bit. Otherwise, lifting the hips. Releasing the lower back. Stay long through the neck. We're resting on the shoulders, not on the back of the neck. Exhale, lower the hips down. Now we're just going to cross the right leg over the left. Right foot is flexed, so toes towards the shins. Knee is going to open out to the side. So if our knee is facing straight towards us like this, that's cool. Our work comes by getting it to open. Pressing the tailbone down into the mat. Breathe. Maybe we rock side to side. And gently uncross that leg. And switch sides. The left leg crosses over the right. Flexing that left foot. Opening the left knee out to the side. See if we can find the shoulders relaxing down. A lot of times when we do work in the hips, the shoulders will start to scrunch up to the ears. We want to just breathe them down. Calm strength. Now I'm going to show you on this side first, but I want you guys to switch sides. We're going to take the arms out to the side, and we're just going to walk the right foot a little bit more to the midline, shift the hip, and then we're going to twist and let that foot land on the mat. Keep the left shoulder rooted down. Breathe. Inhale, bring the foot back up. Shift the hips back to neutral. Uncross that leg. And switch sides. Shift the hip a little off center. And twist. Just letting go. Shoulders relax. Spine relax. Bring it back to center. Uncross the legs. Just move whatever way feels good. Maybe windshield wiper the knees, or maybe hug the knees into the chest, one at a time, or both at the same time. And just let there be fluid movement, just releasing whatever feels good in your body right now before we go into relaxation. And now just settling on our mats. Shoulder blades tucked under so the heart is open. Breath can flow in and out with very little effort. Relax the chin down towards the chest. It isn't going to necessarily touch the chest. We're just relaxing so the back of the neck is not compressed. And the legs can extend straight out from the hips, so we can take the feet wide on our mats, let the knees collapse together, or bottoms of the feet together for butterfly, or just full corpse pose where we're extending both legs out and letting the knees just open out to the side. Arms out to the side, palms facing the sky, or they can rest on the navel, or maybe one on the heart and one on the navel. If you have that blanket, another great option is to place the blanket just over the hips and the belly. Makes us feel protected, a little more grounded. Starting to take deep breaths in through the nose. If it's comfortable, closing our eyes. So even though this may be the easiest part of class, this is one of the most important part of our classes. It is where our body restores and rejuvenates the energy that we use during our practice. It's where our mind can scan the body and find areas that maybe we didn't realize were off balance. Maybe take the opportunity to identify that imbalance and work on ways that we can correct it in our daily activities. Just continuing those nice full breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Feeling the belly and rib cage expand out to the sides. Side body breathing. And the card that fell out of the deck, this is what it read. When I truly surrender my desires to the universe, a mighty force of faith can set in. I'm going to go ahead and end the video, but if you can continue your relaxation for another 5 or 10 minutes, that would be ideal. Just remember, as we're coming out of relaxation, to give ourselves a lot of time to come back into the space. But for now, if you can give yourselves another 5 or 10 minutes of relaxation, you will not regret it. Just remember to breathe. And I will see you all next week on Tuesday. Have an amazing weekend. And if you've not already done so, give that North Cascades Athletic Club Facebook page a like and follow so you can get the alerts for future live classes. This is Roxanne saying goodbye, and have an awesome day.